Good morning and welcome to another episode of the J Ramble 7045 Bladed Platoon channel. I am your boy, the J Ramble 7045 Bladed Platoon. So a couple things. For one, I have been a little bit on the hiatus. It took me a while to get this video posted because I've been busy with school. I'm trying to get my bachelor's degree and get that knocked out the way. In fact, my first day of class is today. So welcome back to school. But without further ado, on with the show, and here we are. This is the Arizona Bowie, made by the Croco Knives. This is the Dbad Arizona Bowie. If I haven't mentioned that before, I'm going to say it again. So first and foremost, I just want to compliment on Croco Knives and how they created this leather sheath. This is well done, and it still smells like genuine leather, and I've had this thing for over a month. It took me a while to get this knife review because I put other knife reviews before this one, but this is a very well stitched, well made. I mean, there's nothing flimsy about this sheath, by the way. It's not a flimsy piece of crap that sometimes you get from K-Bar or Ontario. Not that I'm ripping off on K-Bar or Ontario knives, but sometimes your leather sheaths are crap, and nothing irritates me more than when you put a really well designed knife and you add a piece of junk leather sheath to it. It doesn't make sense. If you're gonna put all that effort and that time into making a well custom made blade, or well made blade in general, it needs to go with a leather sheath that complements that craftsmanship as well. And Croco Knives has absolutely knocked it out the park with their leather sheath. So very well made. Of course, this is the belt loop, and it is removable. I can actually take it apart. Of course, I don't know why you would take this off, to tell you the truth. I would just leave it. Honestly, Croco Knives, and this is just my tidbit from it. I mean, I kind of get where you're going with removing this, but you might as well just go ahead and stitch this onto the into the actual sheath itself, you know. But you know, again, I still get where you're going with making this removable. But for me, if you're gonna make a leather sheath like this, it's better to just stitch it into one solid piece. That's just me. Okay, that's my only complaint there. But other than that, man, look at this. Very well made, very well stitched leather sheath. So well done, Croco Knives. Of course, this is here's the logo, Croco Knives, and Dbad Arizona Bowie. I really love the pattern that Dbad put on this micarta handle. Really, really cool looking. It really complements the blade, and you can even see it here on the spine of the blade. It's pretty cool looking, and it's super lightweight. I'm surprised how lightweight this. Super lightweight. So if it's lightweight like this, I'm pretty sure it's well balanced. So get my hand off of there. That's a well balanced knife, my friend. That's how you know you got a knife that not only is strong but well balanced. And balance on a knife is everything. It actually determines whether or not if your knife is going to break on impact or not. As much as, so everybody focuses on, oh well, the knife needs to be full tang and it needs to go the heart. Yeah, it needs to be full tang, but it needs to be well balanced as well. It doesn't make sense to make a knife that is so heavy here or heavy here, and it's going to drop like this or like this, and then when you bang on something, it breaks anyway because there's too much weight to one side over the other. And that has happened on some knives that I've owned because the balance is off. It's just the way physics works. Without further ado, of course, and I will also show you where you can get this knife. So you can go right now on the Croco Knives website The Dbad Arizona Bowie right now is $109 plus shipping and handling. It is made from D2 steel. So there it is in their website, right? There it is. Knife sheath, pretty much what I've been showing you. And of course, you can go on Dbad's YouTube channel, and he also has a knife review for this blade. I'm just a super fan of his knives. Okay. The guy really knows his stuff when it comes to making and creating a blade. So without further ado, I've probably said that 3 times already. I'm going to show you the measurements of the blade. So overall, the blade length on this knife is 13 7/8, 13 inches and 7/8, from here all the way to the tip of this knife. The blade length is 9 1/4 inch long, so that's from there. I gotta be careful, I don't want to cut myself, from here all the way to the tip of the blade. And the handle is about 6 inches long, so the guard is about 1 inch. So the guard on this knife is like from here to here, and the micarta handles from here all the way to here. But it feels great on my hand. I have no complaints on the grip of this knife. And I'm pretty sure that Dbad created this knife for his hands, because Dbad is a big old boy. You know, he's got big old hands. So if it works on his hands, it's going to definitely work on mine. And I like the fact that he's actually put choil right here where you can choke up on this blade, and you can do that. And the way, you see how my hand is, my thumb is here and my index finger's here. That's how you should choke up on a choiled knife every time. Okay, I'm pretty sure that this, of course, first and foremost, Bowie knives are fighting knives, and this is a fighting knife. You can actually fight with this. Okay, you can stab, you can cut, you can choke up on this and really do damage to your enemy if you wanted to. And that's what Bowie knives are designed for. Can it be a utilitarian knife? Yes, it can. Cowboys back in the old Western days used their Bowie knives as a utilitarian knife, as also a knife for self-defense. And I'm pretty sure that's what Dbad had in mind when he created this Arizona Bowie. So, and also I'm going to show you how sharp this knife is. So, testing it earlier, and this is what it did. So I'm going to show you on video. Okay. I'm not even trying. So, you know. So, is it a sharp knife? Yes, it is. So, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go outside and we're going to test what else can this knife do. And stay tuned for that. Okay, so here we are. It is early in the morning, and we're going to test this knife from Crockle Knives. So, give me a second. And let's go ahead and see what it can do, what it can cut. So, I'll tell you what. I know it's kind of hard for me to hold on and the same time, so bear with me. So let's see here. Cut one of my fruit here, and let's back this up a bit. And here, alright, just cut right through this like this, no problem. And it's probably hit the, but that's what it did. Boom. Boom. From this knife. Okay. See what else I can cut. Bear with me for just a sec. Alright, so before we do anything, we're gonna do a drop test somewhere. Actually, I have a perfect log for that. Coming out here. Let's see here. Just stepped on a landmine. Stupid dogs. My dogs, by the way, are crazy. They crap all over my yard like they're cows. They don't pick a certain spot where they do their business. They use my entire yard to do their business because they think they're cows. But let's do a drop test on a log here. Hopefully it'll hit. Here. Boom. Alright, let's do that again. Another drop test. And it's kind of hard to do it from an angle here. I missed. This log is too thin. I need something a little thicker. But let's do it. There it is. It penetrated pretty deep. But that was the drop test. Hopefully I caught that on camera. But yeah, that's the drop test. Let's see what else I could do. You know, the really cool thing about this knife I got in my hand is it's super strong. Okay. This log, you can tell, get my crusty toe out of her, has seen some pretty crazy things as far as, but it bites. See? I can even choke up on this. Yeah, it's biting through this. As you can see, it bit through that. No problem. Now let's do the penetration test. What I mean by penetration, I take a piece of cardboard about that thick. See how thick that is? Duct tape them together. What I normally do is I test how it's able to penetrate, and let's test it. And it went right through all that. Yes, sir. Boom. Penetrated right through all that. One more time. Boom. And that's a pretty thick piece of cardboard. See? And it's holding it up like that. And no damage to the edge. It bit the tip a little bit, but that happens all the time when I penetrate through that. That's every knife I've ever had. I don't know why it does that with me, but it does. Let's also test the knife ability to cut rope. So hopefully I should be able to get it. Yep. Yep. Cut through all that. So if you're ever in the woods and you need to survive, you can do that. Easy. Let's do another test, the baton test, to see if this knife is batonable. Alright, so I'm back. Hopefully I can show you what else this knife can do. It is super muggy out here today because it's a humid day here in Texas. So I'm going to take this log and baton like this, so hopefully I can get it to bite. It's already biting it. Alright. But yeah, see what it's already done? Look at that. It's already biting through this. As long as it's a little too thick for me to baton properly. Alright, I'm back. So let's see if I can finish batoning this log here. And then splitting it in half. Literally no problem. Yeah, look at that. It's doing that to my log. There we go. Boom. Contest done. Let's see. Cut that off easy. Got up a branch. Oh, this thing bites. Yeah, it bites. Yep. There it goes. There it goes. Cut that off easy. Log on my sandals. Cut that off. Right through this. Now, on an Arizona Bowie like this, you would not normally do extensive bushcrafting type work with a knife like this, because this is more particularly a fighting knife. But as you can see, it's doing the job. And it's doing the job fairly well. Okay. Boom. Boom. So, yeah. I'm also going to show you that you can feather wood with a knife like this. Let me see if I can find a thinner piece of wood to do that on. Fingers on this. Yeah. From a separate angle. Where I had my thumb was not a good idea. And let's see, feather wood. Very, very hard wood. This wood is a little bit more difficult to feather wood because it's thicker. It is wet too, so it is kind of semi-hard to do it. But the point that I'm trying to make with that test there is that yes, you can feather wood with a knife like this. It's not designed for it, but Can you? You can. Yeah, there you go. Can you feather wood with a knife like this? Yes, you can. It just depends on how badly you want to feather wood. A knife like this, and it is muggy, it is humid out here, and I'm sweating like a pig. But yeah, you can feather wood with a blade just like this. So, the Dbad Arizona Bowie knife from the Croco Knives. If you want to get one, go ahead, and as you can see, there's no damage to the edge of this blade. So yeah, you want to get one, go at the Crooked House Knives.com and yeah, order your one. It's worth it. With that being said, I'm your boy, the J Rambo 745 Blade Platoon channel, and with that being said, you have yourself a very blessed Saturday morning. Till next episode.